What's good, man? How y'all feeling? And welcome back. I'm IC3 3000 to be exact. And listen, man, we got another video for you guys. This is going to be a big week in college football 25, man. They got a lot of stuff planned for us. And I'm a little bit late with this one, but it's okay. We're going to get into the Dynasty deep dive, man. They're going to give us a whole lot of information about this new Dynasty mode. I know we kind of had the whole rumors of if this was just going to be a Madden reskin, and I'm pretty sure we put them rumors to bed, man. This game is definitely looking like it's going to be standalone. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to present the Dynasty mode. Honestly, this has always been one of my favorite modes personally. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. I've kind of heard a little bit about some of the features they're going to have, speaking of recruiting and some of the other things. But I want to, let's go ahead and get into this thing, man, and see what they actually have to say and what they're going to have going on. So let's go ahead and jump into this video, man.
Kirk Herbstreit here with EA Sports College
What up,
Football
Kirk?
25, back for another deep dive.
Between
This
yours?
time we're talking about
Bodied him. Bodied him. Hey, we're going to be saying that.
everyone's favorite.
Also, that hoodie under the jersey combination is so filthy to me. But anyway, man, hey, we paused at the perfect time. So listen, this right here is going to be the actual game menu, man. You can see we get like a little preview here, what we got going on, man. And honestly, this is nice, man. I appreciate the attention to detail in here, man. And one of the things that I really loved about the older games in the past was just the immersion into the world of college football. You know what I mean? Like there were times when they actually had like real footage, in-game footage. You could get little clips and stuff like that. And that just kind of really helped you fall in love with the game. So this right here, it really looks like they're trying to bring some of that back, man, and get, the world of college football back into this game, which we really need, man, because in order to have fun with a game, you got to find a way to connect with it. And so from my perspective, this looks really good, man. You can see we got a couple screenshots here. We got a couple still photos. We get some star players on there. They even added a little bit of ticket in the bottom. I like what I'm seeing, man. I'll be honest. I like what I'm seeing. All right.
Favorite mode, Dynasty.
Yes, sir. That Dynasty.
Online Dynasty in
Get off
College
me.
Football 25 can accommodate up to 32 teams, and you can play with friends for up to 30 seasons. Today we'll take
Man.
a closer look at the new 12-team college football playoff, recruiting, the transfer portal,
recruiting.
and a ton of customization.
Speaking of, and they're gonna get into it a little bit more, but this transfer portal is gonna be crazy, man. I'm really excited to see how some of these things are gonna play out, storyline wise, man. I know I'm really big into the storyline, so I'm gonna see. Hey, we're gonna have a star player that's gonna try to go to a Power 5 program. We might have to have a sit down little talk. I don't know how much money we're gonna have to spend, but no, this is really cool, man. I'm super excited. So let's keep getting into it.
Options to make your program unique. College football has seen seismic changes over the past few years.
Hasn't it?
And in EA
Pac-12,
Sports College
Pac-2.
Football 25, you can experience this new landscape while
Hey, speaking of landscape, I mean, we already know. I've already said this game it looks phenomenal. But if you don't believe me, look at what we're seeing on this screen right now. I mean, this is, especially this game too, the USC UCLA matchup in USC Stadium right here. Man, this looks really good. This looks really good. I'm not even gonna hold you. This looks really good. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun with this game. Trust me, we're gonna have some fun.
building your program the way you want. The
That's a dot, Tutty.
2024 season marks the debut of the new 12-team college football playoff, and you can play it first in the game months before the real thing. You could be the first
championship.
coach to lead your school through the new 12-team playoff
Give me that.
and hoist the college football playoff trophy.
Man, this right here, okay, this detail right here, this actually makes me really excited because a little bit of backstory, man. Some of the older games, previous games, I kind of felt like they were lacking in the celebration when you actually win a championship. You know what I mean? Like you would build a dynasty all the way up from scratch, especially if you're the type of player, you don't take the easy road. Like let's say you build up an Akron U, right? And then you take this team all the way to the national championship, and then you get here, you win, and then it's like 2 pictures, and then they cut right to the exit screen, right to the menu screen, and you're looking at stats. Like, man, I want to feel like I just won something. Like, you know what I mean? And this right here, this actually looks like they gave that some thought as well. There's a whole lot of presentation in here. I mean, you got players running and jumping on the field, confetti everywhere. So This is pretty cool, man. This is honestly pretty cool.
Recruiting is the lifeblood of college football. And in a world of unlimited transfers, managing your dynasty roster has never been more important. Evaluate your needs and opportunities for talent upgrades at the start of each season.
Okay.
The best way to build a powerhouse is to recruit through the high school ranks. So let's fill up your recruiting board.
All right. So this is a first look at what the recruiting board is going to look like, man. And obviously they've kind of stuck with the theme of the College Football 25 theme with the updated graphics and stuff like that. But we're looking at our player board on the left hand side right here, and then obviously we get some more information on the right over here. So we got scholarships, actions, visits. So it's kind of on brand from what we've seen, 10 years ago. But I'm sure they're going to have a whole lot more features. So let's see what else he has to say, man.
Each year, over 3,500 high school recruits are generated from all over the country, with certain regions representing real-world hotspots for blue-chip talent.
All right. Speaking of certain regions, I did hear, and I don't know how true this is or not, so, hey, it might just be overhyped, but I did hear that recruits are going to be, their player base are going to be based off of their location. And it's kind of like player archetypes, if you will. So, for example, if you got an athlete coming out of South Florida, 9 times out of 10, this dude is going to be a burner. Guys coming out of Florida are going to have a whole lot of speed, you know what I mean? Guys coming out of the Midwest probably going to be your bigger, stockier athletes and things like that. So some of the stereotypical things or, typical things you hear from different players coming out of different regions, man, I think we're going to see some of this in the game. I saw a meme. Somebody was like, I'm just going to have a whole team full of South Florida players. And that might not be a bad idea because speed kills, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's see what else he has to say, man.
Like South Florida and Metro Atlanta. Do research to find recruits that best fit your program and determine who you can realistically land. A recruit's interest in your school is decided by 14 different pitch grades like proximity to home, playing time, and brand exposure. So you'll need to discover how your program's pitch grades align with your recruit's desires, in addition to scouting for talent.
So that right there, based on those factors, that'll make I feel like that is going to actually make recruiting really dynamic, right? You already are going to have your powerhouse schools who are likely going to have all of those recruiting areas maxed out or at least close to the top. So if you are starting, with a smaller school or even a team builder school or something of that nature, man, you're going to have to actually build your program up, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty cool, man. That goes back to the immersion, which I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to build a program up, build it up, man. Program exposure, and all that stuff's really going to play a big factor in this game, man. So this is pretty cool, man. I'll be honest, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Some players have a deal breaker requirement, and if your program cannot provide, the recruit will lock you out. Deal breakers also drive a player's decision to enter the transfer portal. Monitor at-risk players and get one last chance to convince your favorites to stay. Track your recruits as they...
All right. So this right here, we get a look at the transfer portal. I guess at the end of the season, right, you can always see, which players are leaving. But now I feel like they're going to put more emphasis on transferring and in the actual transfer portal, right? And so I heard the transfer portal is going to last for 4 weeks at the end of the season. And so you'll have the opportunity, like if you have any players that are wanting to transfer from your program, obviously, like we just saw, you can persuade them to stay. But then also, you're going to have the chance to go to another team. If it's some other guys from another program are in the transfer portal, you're going to have a chance to kind of persuade them to come to your program. So this is going to be, like I said, man, this is going to be very dynamic. It definitely throws another aspect into the Dynasty mode, man. And now more than ever, we already know players are transferring left and right, man. So this is really cool, and I'm excited to actually experience this myself and see exactly how difficult even it might be. Like, if you got a star player and the guys just keep leaving to go to Alabama, Texas, Florida, whatever the case may be, well, number one, you got to build up your program. It just is what it is. But also, it should make for an interesting challenge. You know what I mean? So let's see.
They narrow down their top schools, pitch a prospect to gain more interest, and then set up school visits when the timing is right. It's crucial to remain in their top 10, then 8, then 5, to finally be part of their top 3.
Top 2 and not
As
2.
a recruit trims down to the top 8, you can attempt to increase your appeal. If your school doesn't have exactly what the prospect is looking for, you can try to sway their opinion in your favor. Plan visits that elevate a recruit's experience, like pairing a quarterback visit with a wide receiver visit at the same time.
Makes sense.
It's crucial to keep an eye on the transfer portal when it opens in the offseason.
Okay, so this is what I was referring to right here. So I think this is going to be what the actual transfer portal looks like, right? So we're going to have a list of guys, a list of players coming from their previous teams. Ratings are going to be 1 through 5 stars, it looks like. So you're not going to get an actual number rating, which kind of keeps you on your toes. You can't just go pluck and pick all the best players out in the transfer portal. You got to actually do some research and scout them out a little bit. So this is pretty cool, man.
To round out your roster with talent you couldn't land from recruiting. Add portal prospects to your board just like you would with recruiting, but expect quick decisions as transfers have a shorter timeline to land a new home. Conference realignment is a hot topic in college football.
Man, ain't it?
And with custom conferences in EA Sports College Football 25, Dynasty is yours to control. See what a 20-team super conference might look like, or revert to the traditional conference alignment. Shape the conference size and membership and set custom conference rules, set up divisions and more. Once you've settled your conference options, it's time to select your team. Begin with a highly ranked team and dominate at the top.
All right, and this right here, this is a detail that honestly, in the last game, I feel like it was just something that was overlooked just because it was a minor detail. But if we look at the Clemson uniforms in their conference patch, you can see in this Dynasty example, they moved Clemson to the MAC, which is egregious, by the way. Like, why even play? But you can see their actual patch now has the MAC badge on their uniform. So it's those little details. I keep talking about details in this game. And that's what's making a lot of people, including myself, really excited to play this game, man. You can actually see, like I said, the badges are going to update as well as the field graphics. You know what I mean? So if you have a school who displays their conference logo on their actual field, that is going to update as well with the school colors and the school theme and things like that, so on and so forth. So that right there, listen, man, like I said, I'm already invested in this game, as you can tell. But stuff like that is what makes it, to me, is what really will take a game to the next level. So far, man, this is looking really cool.
With repeat recruiting and playoff success. Or build from the ground up with a smaller program and prove you have what it takes to go from an unknown to postseason favorite. We can't talk about your dynasty without talking about your starting job.
The coach.
Start as an offensive
Shout out to
or
Coach Hughes, man.
defensive
If you know, you know.
coordinator and climb the ranks to head coach. Or take over a program as the head coach right away. Choose from one of the 3 base.
All right. So we got 3 coaching archetypes. All right, we got motivator. Get your players to play their best by boosting their ratings and composure. Nobody has it better than us. That's the motivator. Recruiter, Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. You scout faster and recruit better than any other type of coach. That right there might be OP. Getting top recruits to your school, that might be OP. Anyway, the last one we got is tactician. Reader, tactician. Boost your players' ratings on game day. Scheme up the big plays and let the visor fly. I don't know what that means, let the visor fly. But anyway, we're going to have an X and O's guy. I probably won't be using that one too much. I'll be 100% honest with you. That recruiter archetype, I like the motivator too. Got to get the guys hype, get them to play on their best abilities. But that recruiter thing, man, listen, recruiting, I feel like recruiting is going to be one of the main focuses of this new game, if I'm being completely honest with you. I could be wrong. I could be totally off base. But in my opinion, I might go with that recruiter route. You feel me?
Coaching types to start. Your coach type will determine what coaching skill tree you start with. From there, the abilities you acquire as you progress will determine what kind of coach you develop into.
Okay.
Unlock additional skill trees with better abilities. Or, if you build up multiple skill trees, you can unlock hybrid trees that leverage a more diverse skill set. The coaching carousel is an important part of every coach's journey. Whether you're the head man at your dream school or working your way up, the carousel is your way of fielding offers from other programs. Head coaches in Dynasty can actively manage their coordinator positions. So if one of your staff takes a job elsewhere, or you decide to cut ties for other reasons, you can use the carousel to replace them. Remember, even the greatest coaches need support, and every coach has a unique skill tree.
Okay,
It's
okay,
important
skill
to think
trees.
about how you want to build your
So this kind of reminds me of some of the current games where you're going to have the coaching skill tree. You build them up. You're going to be able to affect your players' abilities and things like that. So I guess, so really looking at that archetype, you have to think about what kind of coach you want to build, man. It's going to make a difference.
Whether that's doubling down on your existing strengths to max out your benefits or seeking out balance for a well-rounded staff. Choose wisely. The decisions you make here will matter to your program's success and your coach's
So that was fire. That was fire.
success. And
The battle for the Florida Cup series win. So they even take account like your rival stats, like they're just little things like that. 29 series wins, battle for the Florida Cup. And look at the background, the stadium. Like this is some top tier stuff, brother.
your coach's progression. The benefits of coach talents are stackable. So if your head coach and defensive coordinator have the same ability, the impact for that ability will be greater.
Double up, that makes sense.
Well, that's it for today's deep dive into Dynasty Mode in EA Sports College Football 25. To make it
All right, man. All right, man. Like I said, I'm excited for this game. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm excited for this game. The Dynasty deep dive did us justice, man. A lot of the things they emphasize. One of my main takeaways, like I said, is gonna be this recruiting. It's gonna be this transfer portal and the dynamic of that. Having a star player transfer after having a great season to maybe another in-conference school or even a rival school will be devastating, and vice versa, man. If you can pull one of your rivals' best players out of the transfer portal, I feel like this is gonna change the shape of how we play college football, man. This is gonna be crazy. Let's be honest. This is gonna be crazy. All right, man. So the Dynasty deep dive, we did covered it. We had talked about it, man. Let me know what you guys think. Are you gonna be building a dynasty? You know what I'm saying? And what type of coach archetype you think you're going to go with? You got the 3 types. Like I said, I think I'm leaning towards that recruiter, but you never know. So look, man, the review is in, man. The Dynasty deep dive, honestly, really excited, man. I'm really excited to see what they got going on and see the recruiting. But anyway, man, like I said, we're going to have a whole lot of fun with this game, and I am looking forward to playing, man. I know you guys are too. So as always, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I think we are at 8 days roughly until launch. And so it's right around the corner, man. Right around the corner. And this is a big week for college football. I know they got tons of announcements and there's going to be more information coming out and things like that. So, hey, we'll try to go cover this stuff together, man. We're going to get information and cover it together. But anyway, man, like I said, I appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, man, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now, man. And remember, a little bit every day goes a long way. So once you take that first step, don't look back. I'm IC3, 3000 to be exact. I hope I see you guys in the next one. If I don't, I'm going to go ahead and run this one back.